Hello, brothers and sisters. I pray that all is well on today. Just sharing a quick message with you. So, this is just a tip of encouragement for the singles. Who's picking your mate? So, I was at work last night and my coworkers were talking about what they want in a relationship. They were talking about their top 5 things that they needed in a mate, or they wanted in a mate, or they felt like that would make them happy. So I was just doing my work and I was like, please don't ask me, Lord. I was like, please don't let them ask me. I ain't about to get in this conversation because that's not even what that's not something I want to deal with really. I just want to focus on my work. And so the one young lady asked me, what are your top 5 things, Constance? And I said, you know what? I don't have a top 5. I said, I'll let and I will, the Most High will pick my mate. And I said, I live according to His will, and I hear His voice, and I know Him, and He provides revelation and truth. So when that time comes, I will know based upon the Holy Spirit. And they laughed at me. Of course they were going to laugh. They laughed at me. And they said some things I can't really remember because I wasn't really focused on what they were saying. This message is encouragement to my brothers and sisters out here who may be single. Sometimes we have things in our minds that we think we want in a person. A lot of times we're being led by the flesh, first of all. I remember when I was single and I had a type. I remember, I'm single now, but I remember when I had a type. I remember he used to be 6'5", chocolate, tall, basketball, football player type back in the day. And college, or in high school, my first boyfriend was like 6'3" or something like that. So I always liked taller men. And that was a superficial thought, first of all. And then, as I grew older, I said, well, these are the things that will make me happy. An established man, a man who loves the Lord, and so on and so on. And so throughout my life, I've dated different guys in different cultures and had different experiences with just different people. And I learned that I cannot be led by my flesh, and I cannot be led by what I think I want in a mate. Let's keep it real, people. You can think you want 5 things in a list. You get those 5 things, and a person can have a 6th thing that you really don't want. And then you like, Lord, I got myself into this because I thought that I knew what I wanted. There are some people, just because we are believers in the Most High, that don't mean another believer will be compatible with you. You have to be led by the Holy Spirit in all of your decisions that you make. You have to trust in the Lord with all your heart and all your might, and lean not to your own understanding, because when we lean to our own understanding, that's when confusion sets in. That's the playing ground for the enemy. When we seek out things based upon the flesh and not upon the Holy Spirit. So, I'm saying this, I'm going to spill a little bit of my tea so that it can bless you. So, for example, my last relationship, I want to just say when I first got in a relationship with my last boyfriend that I was not in a good place. Last year, 2015, was a really rough year. And I will give my testimony about corporate America. I will give that testimony in due time, Holy Spirit led. But I had a lot of trials and tribulations to make it through in a corporate job that I previously had. And so I was coming off the heels of that particular job, and I entered in a relationship. And I wasn't honestly where I'm at now, because the Lord pruned me in a lot of ways. When I dealt with that situation, I became very, very close to the Lord compared to where I was at. So I entered in a relationship with this man. And he was a nice guy. He was some of the things that I thought I needed or I liked. I'm giving you this example because it goes back to what they said. They're picking things that they think they will be blessing to them, would be good for them. So, being a poet and a writer, I had some failed business opportunities I wanted to go into. But anyway, I met this man and I thought he would be a really great mate for me. We started talking, we became friends. He was someone who very successful. I'm a writer, he's a writer, he's a film producer. But I realized that the Lord always spoke to me, and the Lord said, no, this is not what I want you to have, Constance. Just because things look good on paper don't mean they're going to work out in real life, in real true life. And then when you get in a relationship, you have to be led by the Holy Spirit. So I had this man in my life, and the man was, I'll be honest with you, he was selfish. And as a person who's on YouTube, right? Y'all know I run a channel. I'm learning to be better, to be more tech savvy. I'm not the most tech savvy person. So the Lord is teaching me, and I'm even going to take some classes. I want to take classes on film producing. I really do, because I feel like if I have a channel, I want it to grow, and I know people will connect with me based on where I'm at, and because my messages are blessed. But I want to be able to expand or to grow. I feel like anything you do, you grow and expand. I was dating a man who was a film producer. Produced his own movie. I believe, to me, that's successful. A writer. Worked on several projects. You mean to tell me I'm dating this man who's a film producer, and he's not teaching me anything about film? He's not teaching me anything about editing my videos. So it goes to show you, anybody who comes into your life, if a man comes into your life, women, where there's a lack in your life, that man should automatically want to help. And let me tell you something, he shouldn't want to help just because he can be your man. He shouldn't want to help you just because he wants to sleep with you. He should help you because that's his duty as a man to do so. If that's what the Holy Spirit has led him to do. There should be no hidden agendas. So with me dating a film producer, you would think this man would be like, Constance, let me edit some of your videos for you. Let me teach you something. But in actuality, that wasn't my focus during the relationship, because I was going through a lot of stress based off my last job. But with retrospect, when you look at it, I'm like, I was dating somebody who I need help in that area. I didn't think about it at the time, but he should have been helping me. But if that wasn't his agenda to help me, then that, if he came to get something that he wanted to get, as most selfish people do, then he was only going to focus on what he could get from me, not focus on being a blessing to my life or a help. Let me tell you something, ladies. Let me tell you something, men. When you're entering in these relationships, you got to be praying before the Lord. You got to make sure that you're right with the Lord, and you got to make sure that that person is right with God. You got to make sure that this is Holy Spirit ordained. Even if it's someone who claims they believe in the Lord. Even if it's someone who claims the Lord is the head of their life. You try the Spirit, test the Spirit, and know who is of God and if the Holy Spirit has sent this person. Because let me tell you something, if you're going on the flesh, what looks good and what feels good, you're going to get lost and trapped. And that's a way for the enemy to grab a hold of your life and keep you in a stronghold for years and years. I'm saying this to say, whenever someone presents themselves in your life, make sure you are praying about it and trusting the Most High God and not being led by the flesh, because the flesh will send you right down to hell. People think, a lot of these relationships are being created off lust. A lot of these relationships are being created off convenience. My husband, that relationship is going to be created from the Most High. Constance is not going to be like, I need him because blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's going to be the Lord leading me. Because when this man presents himself to my life, it's going to be Holy Spirit led, and I will not let the flesh intervene, because you cannot deal with the blessings of the Lord with the flesh. So I'm saying this to you, brothers and sisters. Be cognizant of the people you allow in your surroundings. Be cognizant of the relationships that you are entering in, and know who you are and know your worth. And when you know your worth, you make better decisions. See, when I entered in that relationship, I was in a low point in life. I was a strong woman. I ain't never stopped being strong. But I was not where I needed to be, and my focus wasn't where it needed to be, and that's why I entered in a relationship that I shouldn't have been in the first place. But let me tell you something, it was a blessing because it was a learning lesson, and I learned a lot. Anything you go through in life, you learn a lot, but you don't let it take you out. You don't let it drag you down. You don't let someone else pull you under. When the Holy Spirit speaks to you, you need to listen. Because the Most High Lord is never playing. And we need to take his word serious. So when you say to yourself, men, because it is a man who finds a wife, let's be honest. When you say to yourself, men, I desire this woman, make sure that your desires are from the Most High. Make sure you're being Holy Spirit led. Ladies, when these men approach you, make sure you're being Holy Spirit led. You got to know who you are and who has sent you. And test the spirits, people, because let me tell you something. The Lord is a miracle worker. And he ain't going to put you in nothing that's going to bring you down or depress you. He ain't going to put you in nothing that's going to create strongholds and demonic soul ties. The Lord ain't about that life. He's about blessing you in abundance, but you ain't going to get what you want doing things your way. You're going to have to do it his way. Because if you do it your way, guess what? You're going to fail big time. I just wanted to share this message with you because people play around with their lives thinking that they can go the easy way out. But let me tell you something. It's never an easy way out, but people will find out in due time. I take my time seriously. I take who I allow in my life. I don't care if it's a woman or it's a man. If it's a woman as a friend. If it's a person in my life, I take it seriously. I don't play with it. Because people can bring your life down. People can tear your situation apart. You have to protect yourself. Protect your heart, guard your mind, and trust the Lord and be Holy Spirit led in all your relationships. Your time ain't nothing to play with. Your energy is nothing to play with. You have to protect yourself and know who you are in the Most High. Blessings, people. Shalom.